process that you went through, Satyen. You've told us about what sparked off the idea and moved you to put it down on paper. But what was the experience of actually writing it and the feedback you received, including some unkind stuff from me? In what way that helped, if it helped?
That was one of the key factors actually, because as I said, writing a novel, I didn't have a clue when I started off. And when I sent that draft to you, it was an absolute immature draft. It was written purely as a toy, as an amusement. And I did not respect the serious amount of effort that is needed. About the completing part of it, the first chapters that I wrote actually were the ones which are the last chapters of the novel, because that is what I wanted to say. And then, it keeps building up as you keep observing people around you. You obviously are influenced by people you see, how they behave. So many instances where you interact with people who are rich, who are unhappy, people who are locals but who are happy. And it keeps on building. I wanted to create a protagonist, Shiva, who's, just under a lot of stress, leading an extremely stressful life, which quite a few of us are, time constraints, work pressures, failing relationships, failing to measure up to their own expectations, So I wanted to create this kind of a character and bring him to a point where he completely topples over the edge by an incident and, just chucks everything, as Michael said, and runs off to Goa. And then I wanted to introduce an element of fantasy which would make it a little different, because seeking answers is fine. He didn't find any answers going to Goa. No. My life is not, unfortunately, so interesting. Yeah, you have the imaginary.
Yeah, the thing, Satyen, what struck me, having known you closely as a friend, obviously I have tremendous respect for your professional ability and professional expertise. A doctor, you keep poring over. The studies will fell an ox actually, for all the doctors here. You work like hell till you're 29, 30 without earning anything. And then of course you proceed to make it up after that. But that's another story. My point is, you are so, naturally to be at the top of your profession, you're so concerned with the mundane things of life.
Discipline that writing requires.
Absolutely complete, in the sense that for those 3 years, my wife hated me, because she would talk to me, I would not be responding at all to her, because, apart from practicing, I was spending all my free time in this. It was absolutely all-consuming. And you write something, and then you read it, and you find it's not there, and then you draft, and you redraft, and she was completely frustrated. So the effort was tremendous. I don't think I have done anything more difficult in my life. I think passing medicine was easier.
But I must commiserate with Mrs. Nabar. But there's something I'd like to say in sort of response to what Mr. Ferreira asked. Where did it come from? There's a couplet of Ghalib which I was fortunate enough to encounter while I was playing the character in Gulzar Bhai's serial, and which reminds me of another thing Gulzar Bhai told me once, that he was going through this very difficult phase when his films were failing and so on, and he had no reason to go to his office, there was no business. But he said, I went there every morning, industriously, from 9:30 till 1:30 in the morning, I sat and I wrote. And he says, I don't know what I wrote, most of what I wrote I've tossed away. But that writing regularly, industriously, with discipline, every single morning, kept me sane. These are Gulzar Bhai's own words. So which is the reason I asked you about the question of discipline. And as for inspiration, as Ghalib himself says, that these thoughts come from I don't know where. All I know is that the sound of the pen is the voice of God. It's a very difficult share in Urdu, so I won't bother going into that. But the essence of it is this, that you just have to get down to it, buckle down to it, and as you keep writing, I suppose your thoughts flow. I think I'm speaking on your behalf.
Satyen, we're taking it forward, and I have something to find out from you. This novel, your first work, has got a blend of a lot of humor to it. It keeps us, you know, all the time with our stomachs rolling with laughter. But the underlining thought also has got a deep philosophy, which is the true bolt of lightning. And we've seen these punchlines. Michael has thrown one at the table. So tell us something about this blend of real reflection that comes through the book.
लिखना बहुत डिफिकल्ट होता है। आप ही किताब लिख रहे हैं तो कितना डिफिकल्ट था आपके लिए?